How to use the power of visualization to achieve your dreams. Hi everyone, my name is Salua. I am an online business coach and a digital marketing specialist. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing for new videos like this every week where I teach you how to grow your online business. I am also a digital nomad currently in the Swiss Alps. All right, so let's get started. Today we are going to talk about how to use the power of visualization to achieve your goals. So I have done videos like this before that you can find here. But today it's a little bit different because it's going to be a live presentation replay where you're going to see interaction with an audience where I'm actually sharing my screen and I show you exactly what I do and how I do use the power of visualization to achieve my own objectives in life. So let's get ready. All right, so today we're going to talk about how to use the power of visualization to achieve your goals. So I have a little bit of it's not really a surprise, but towards the end, I want to help you share with you the technique on how I actually do that. I wanted to share with you a little bit about who I am and why I'm doing this, and in hopes that you understand also why. I think it's very important to use the power of visualization for your life and business. I am not a doctor, a therapist, a counselor, none of that stuff. I just use visualization in my life and my business because it's very powerful and a lot of people have used it. Visionaries have used it. Doctors, athletes, and everybody has that within them, but it just takes a little bit of technique to be able to really polish this. Quickly, a little bit about me. Like I mentioned, I am a business coach and a digital creator. This is what I do. My focus is really on business. However, 80% of your business is mindset, and within mindset you have how to motivate yourself, how to stop self-sabotage yourself and really find the strength within you to be able to run that business. And without you, there's no business. That's why it's very, very important that you emphasize yourself. And by doing that, I think the power of visualization has helped me and tremendously in my life and business. And I wanted to share with you how I use it. So now I told you a little bit about who I am, what I do, and using the power of visualization is really a foundation for pretty much everything, because everything around you that you see, the table, the chair, the fork you eating with, all of this has been created in somebody else's mind first, and then it was after that it was created in real. So just so you know, visualization without backing it up with getting the work done is not going to help you. So all of this is good and dandy and whatever, but at the end of the day, you're still going to have to, put on the work. So when I first arrived in the US, so I'm an immigrant. I'm originally from Morocco. I grew up in Belgium. And then in 2005, I had this amazing dream of going to America. And so when I went there, I had nothing. So I didn't speak the language. I didn't have any documentation. I didn't have any family. I just have this big dream in my heart. And I remember really being fearless. And, I tap again into this thing within me when I get to situations where I'm really worried and afraid, because I know that back then when I was in my 20s and I moved to a country I didn't know across the ocean, I left my whole family and started over. I remember those days that I used to tap within me that strength that I had, and everybody has it. And over the years, as you become older and older, life attacks you and send you things, and it gets harder and harder for you to be able to trust and have faith in who you once were. So that's why I know it's very important for me to be back into my own strength that is within. And honestly, you're the only one that's able to do that. As much as you have people around you who really love you and want to help you, at the end of the day, it all comes from within. So before we build a massively successful business, we have to remember the foundation. and the foundation is at core, is within. And today with the power of visualization, I want to show you a few things that I do that help me now 15 years later to keep going back within, believing in myself, even when time is really tough. So let's talk about what is visualization. It's very simple. It's basically imagery you have in your mind. It's your brain process the words through images. And that's it. That's what visualization is you see it in your mind first, and then you put on the work and you create something that is tangible, and then you can share with the world. That's channeling. Hi, Maria. Hi, Laura. It's good to see you. Welcome. So like I mentioned earlier, every visionaries, innovators use the power of visualizations. Think about this. A lot of athletes are visualizing the winning goal or the winning game before they even get into the arena, right? Or the court, football court or whatever, basketball court, football field, etc. So visualization is so important because your mind does not recognize between what has been processed through your mind and what is happening in reality. That is why we need to constantly visualizing what we want, but we also need to add the emotion because we need to feel that we're there. We need to feel that exam. Like you have to see in your mind the exam that you are writing and passing, and you want to see your name on the results chart that you passed. You want to feel this so strongly that then your environment becomes what you were thinking about. This is so powerful, people. We underestimate the power of our minds, and yet studies haven't really caught up with that. But we know that it exists because it's been, thousands of years that people have used the power of visualization to create the life that you now see here. So there's few people that I want to mention here very briefly. I don't know if some of you know the work of Lipton. Lipton is a man that work a lot with the power of the mind and, creating your world based on the word you have in your mind. Dr. Joe Dispenza, it's another amazing man. And by the way, I will recommend to read his book. Dr. Joe Dispenza mentioned that he healed himself through visualization only. He went through a really bad car accident when he broke his back, and he refused to get surgery, and everybody thought he was insane. And he decided that he will use the power of his mind to reconstruct his back, thinking vertebrae by vertebrae. He imagined his body being healed and back in shape. And surprisingly enough, he says in his videos that he's done that. And he said that he made a promise to himself that if he was able to heal himself, it will make his life work, his mission to teach people how to do the same thing. So the reason why a lot of us, when we wake up in the morning, we have a hard time to really stay focused on the future and on our positive self is because us as human, we have between 50 to 80,000 thoughts a day, and your thoughts create your environment. And Dr. Joe Dispenza says we need to switch this, because when we wake up in the morning, we go back thinking about the thoughts from yesterday, which 80 to 90% of them are negative. So we constantly live in the past. And by living in the past, we recreate more of the past and more of the same patterns. 5% of your conscious and 95% is subconscious. How do you deal with that when you're constantly fighting with the 95%? Because your body is your subconscious. Your body is a set of patterns and habits. And he says by the age of 35, it's already set and done. So it's really hard to change that. So you want to be able to visualize your future self. From the moment you wake up in the morning, you want to train your mind to become and to be able to focus on your future, on your positive future self. Now, there's some times where it's okay to use the power of visualization to go back in the past, only to be able to heal it, in a sense that you want to go back to a situation that was negative and it was really hard, but you want to go back there and revisit and change it into a positive thing, where you can forgive the people who hurt you, and you want to be able to see that. Or you want to be able to go back to people who is deceased and really tell them in your mind how much you love them. In that case, going back in the past is a good thing, because you're re-changing the narrative for yourself, just so you can feel better and get some sort of healing. One exercise that I do a lot is I go back to a memory of me when I was probably, I think, 2 or 3 years old. And I remember this very clearly. It was an abusive scenario when my mom and my stepdad were fighting on the streets. Actually, it was a physical fight. And I was sitting there in the snow. And I remember this very clearly. I don't know why this image stayed with me for so long. But one of the exercises that I've done with one of my coaches is to go back as an adult. So I go and visit this scenario as an adult, but I come and I park with a real nice car. I get off, and I don't know why my mind sees me that way, but I'm dressed all in black, and I have a long jacket and high boots, black boots, but I'm very classy. I drive a really nice car, and I'm really, really confident. I can tell I'm a boss when I get off this car. And I see the situation happening with my mom and my stepdad fighting. And what do is I don't sit, but I go on a knee level of my younger self. And I look at my younger self and I said, it's okay, I'm taking care of you. And then I carry myself in my arm. And then I look at my mom and my stepdad fighting. And then I bless my mom and I send her prayer and I send him prayer as well, so they can fix the situation. And I'm protecting myself. And then I ask myself, the 3-year-old, what else do I need to feel good and better? And she responded back to me, I want my sister with us. And I had a younger sister who was like not even a year old, and they were fighting over her. And I said, okay. So I grabbed the sister too, and I take both of me and my younger sister in my car. For some reason, magically up here, I have a car seat for them. And then I sit them in the car and I tell them that I'm here to protect them. And so this really helps me when I go back to, the past, using the power of a visualization. So in that sense, it's really good. But other than that, what you should be doing with the visualization is really imagining your best future self. So give me a yes if you're still with me, because I see you guys connected, but I don't see anybody saying anything. Just give me a quick yes to tell me you're still with me, and then I'll keep moving. Oh, still here. Perfect. I got that. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys. I'm so glad that you can hear me. Okay, so let's diving into more about why is visualization important for your life and business. So when I start working with people at the very beginning, this is an exercise I do all the time. So what I have them do, and we will do this in a second, is we're going to go into a guided meditation where we are actually waking up in our best life. And the reason why I want to do this exercise is because sometimes, especially as we get older, we limit ourselves. We really limit ourselves because we don't think we deserve enough, and we don't think it's possible. And then we have everything going on to our mind that just tells us, hey, you know what? You can't be doing this. There's no way you're going to create a bestseller. There's no way you're going to be able to do all of these things. But what we want is that you actually let your subconscious talk to you through your meditation. That's why it's very important to stay still and to allow your heart to talk to you, because your mind is it's shadowy, right? We see on average 5,000 commercial or advertising a day. Just look through your day and look around you between the brands that you see on the products you eat, on TV, in the bus and transportation. You will see marketing ads, and that's really, really affecting ourselves. That's why time in nature is really, really important. Time alone, and be able to really sit with yourself and journal and meditate and really nurture and self-care and care for yourself is very important. So one of the exercises is the guided meditation. I don't know if some of you know this guy. His name is Sadhguru. We call it a mystic. And he's also using the power of visualization. One of the things he does is he actually go ahead and what he said this in one of his video. He one time sat under a tree and started meditating, and it felt so good. He closed his eyes and he was gone. And when you get into that really deep type of meditation, is you almost become like a third person watching, like a second person watching yourself and watching your life in a third dimension. That's what I meant. And so when you do that, you really get into a different level. Now, we may get a little bit too woo-woo here, but my point here is that if you really understand the power of your mind, you're able to really accomplish amazing things. And the reason why I believe in this is because I have done that myself. You know, from the moment I arrived to the US, I was able to navigate this country that was so difficult as a young me to be able to really hit some pretty amazing milestone. And one of them right now is I'm able to travel around the world running a business remotely. I've done that since last year, and I'm country number 10, which, by the way, I am in Romania. So hello from Bucharest. And so I'm really using this every day. So Sadhguru is using this. Basically what he says, and a lot of these people say something like that, is that your thoughts creates your environment. When you have a thought in your mind and you use this thought and you now emotionalize that thought. So this thought becomes an emotion. That emotion will then create behaviors, and your behaviors will then dictate your environment and your life. That is so important. Think about this for a second. No one is doing what you do, in the sense that if you need an advice or you ask somebody for help, they will give you an answer based on how they think and they feel and their environment. Even if they love you, this is how it's going to go. You know, that's why it's very important that you got to go within and you have to build this for yourself. You got to trust yourself. You have to really build that intuition within and say, you know what? Do I trust myself? I got this. Is this the vision I want for myself? Yes, I do. No one else will be able to see it the way you do, even if they want the best for you. That's why friends and family sometimes are not our best supporters, not because they don't love us, but because they worry. They want us to be safe, just like our 95%, our habits. They also want us to be safe. That's why when we try something new, it's very hard for us to start a new habit, because your body, especially if you're over 35, is used to these things. You're going back to the same pattern. I've done this with money. I'm still going back in some patterns, and I'm like, why am I doing this? And the way to start shifting and changing is through two things: self-awareness. So you got to be aware of your thoughts, and that happens with practice, and visualization. Continue to visualize, state your mantra. Really create that vision of yourself for the future and act like it's already happening, because remember, your mindset does not know the difference. That's why it's just really amazing. It's an amazing work. So sometimes when I'm in a situation, I'm really stressing out, I said to myself, you know what? I have a lot more power than this. So let's see and let's try with our mindset. How can I change this? And I'm telling you guys, if you start doing this, you're going to start loving it, because you now co-create with the universe. You can manifest things by seeing them in the future, or you see them in your mind as it's happening now, but it will happen in the reality because there's a little delay. And then you can start doing those little tests. So instead of becoming passive and becoming a victim of your reality, you are now in control. You are making things happen. So I'm gonna give you an example. I mean, I have tons of examples. Let me just see. Okay, so I'll give you an example. And honestly, you can ask me, like I have thousands of this. I have so many that created something on my phone. I call it the little miracles, because it happens every day. So you gotta be self-aware about what's going on in your life, and you will realize all those mini miracles. So something, for example, if you think about something happening in your mind and then you want it to happen, so you think about it, you visualize it, you put emotion into it, and then once you clear and ask what you want, then you let go and you trust that the universe is going to happen for you. And when that's happening for you and you see it coming, you have to really acknowledge, say thank you. You know what? It's amazing. I actually created this. So I'm gonna give you an example. I can manifest pretty much anything at this point, because then anyway, there's no difference between a small thing and a big thing. So just be aware with me on this. So we're so on the same page of how you do something different from anyone else. Oh, thank you, Beverly. So thank you, Tyrese, for joining. Thank you, guys. And don't forget, leave your questions on there because I won't answer them at the end. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a quick example that had happened to me when I was in the UK. So I go to the UK and I spend about 2 weeks in the northeast of the UK. I really had a fantastic time. And as my trip was ending, I really wanted to go to London. But I knew London was really overpriced, and I honestly didn't want to pay the money. I was like, if I spend a week or two in London, it's going to cost me so much money. Do I stay in London or I don't stay in London? And I said to myself, well, and I remember doing this very clearly when I wanted to manifest. I just asked for 1 week. I said, God, the universe, I want to manifest 1 week in London. I don't know how or where or how, and I don't want to pay for it. I'll pay a little bit. And so I said, that's it. So now I had the thought in my mind, but I had to put it to work. So I said to myself, what can I do right now that can help me create this vision that I have in mind? And so I posted on Facebook. I was talking to people. And then I remember this kid that I knew that he growing up, that he lived in London, but I knew he was in a dance school, but that was it. And I was like, oh, but let me just see what's up. And I honestly just wanted to meet with him for coffee because I haven't seen him since he was a kid. And so we did that. We met, and I was like, well, how's your mom? Because his mom and I were really good friends when we were back home in Belgium. I'm talking about really good friends, and we kind of had lost touch. And I thought she was in Belgium. And he goes, well, she lives here with me. And I was like, she does? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know she lived with you. It would be so terrible for me to come here and see you and not see her. And I said, does she know that we met for coffee? She said, yeah. She was kind of annoyed that you didn't reach out to her. And I said, well, I really didn't know she lived here. And she's like, yeah. So then I reached out to her, and she's like, oh my God, you're in London. She goes, stay here with me. And she invited me to stay with her in London for a week. Actually, she probably wanted me to stay longer, but I stayed a week in London, just like that. And so I'm basically saying you these things because I want you to start testing it in your life and just try it with little things. Try to manifest $5, for example. Visualize it, see it, put some emotion to it, and then just let go. And then pay attention, be self-aware, because if you find $5, maybe you'll find it in a free coffee, or maybe somebody will buy you something, or maybe just, it doesn't have to specifically be $5, but it can be something as close. Okay, so I want now to get into the next part of this, which is the power of visualization, the guided meditation. So I want you to give me a little yes down there if you are ready, because I want to take you through this meditation, which, by the way, I have it downloaded as well. So I'm going to put the link so you guys can have it as well. Okay. So let me know, just give me a quick yes. And while you do that, I am going to look for the meditation so I can leave it down below. Melissa, you said yes. Okay, so there's not a quick delay. So why don't you guys sit somewhere comfortably where I can, where you're not going to be distracted, because I want you to close your eyes and be relaxed, and I am going to guide you in just a second. And I want to make sure you get the visualization meditation, so I am going to share that down below. So I put it in a chat box. Make sure you keep that for you later, and that's your visualization for later. Okay, so make sure you sit somewhere comfortably. I'm going to play a little bit of music, and then we're going to get started. All right, so I want you to get comfortable, sitting down. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale. Exhale. And be completely relaxed. You're feeling really good. Inhale. Exhale. And you feel completely relaxed. Relax your jaw. Relax your back muscles. Relax your feet. And cross your legs. And cross your arms. And you feel completely relaxed. In your mind's eye, I want you to wake up in your best life. You are laying down and your bed is so comfortable. Oh my God, the pillows and the sheets, and you feel so good. And you are now waking up into your best life. You're looking around the room, and this is your dream home. And in your bed, you're looking next to you. Is there a partner? If so, what do you see? Who is this person? Can you feel their skin, their smell, their hair, touch their hands? What do you see? And how do you feel? And you're sitting back in your bed, you're looking around this beautiful room, and you feel so happy. You stand up and you walk towards the window. What a beautiful view. What do you see? Are you in a mountain? Are you by the sea? Are you by the beach? You feel so happy. You've made it. This is what you've always imagined. And now you're walking towards your bathroom. Beautiful bathroom. And what do you see? Looking at the tiles, if you have tiles, the shower, the bathtub. What is it in your bathroom? What is there? What colors are the walls? How big is it? And now you're looking at yourself in the mirror, all of yourself, looking at your face, your body, and you feel amazing. You have your perfect body, feeling beautiful, feeling confident. There's so much love there. You're leaving your bathroom and you're heading to the kitchen, smelling coffee or tea. Time for breakfast. Who's in the kitchen? Do you have family, children, partner? Are you guys sitting together at the table? And you feel so good. This is your best life. And now you're slowly getting ready for work. Where is work? What is it that you do? You put on your clothes, your hair, makeup, or not. And you're feeling so confident and excited to start the day. You're opening the front door. You're saying goodbye to your loved ones. And then, if you like driving, you open the garage and you see your car. Is there one car, two, three? What kind of car do you see? What color? What make and model? Are you driving the cars or do you have a chauffeur? Are you in a major city and just grabbing an Uber? Now you're on a ride to work. Where are you going? Is this an office? Do you own a building? Do you have a whole team or an assistant? Where are you? What do you see? The people at work are so excited to see you. There's such a great energy there. Your team is excited to take on another day, and you're sitting down with maybe your partner, business partner, your assistant, and you guys looking at the accounts, the bank accounts, and you see money overflowing your bank accounts. What number do you see? You're looking at your assets, spreadsheets, and everything is doing well. All your investments are doing great. You're looking at the other properties you have, maybe some rental properties there. Whatever you want is happening. What is your definition of success? Go within. Let it show it. Your subconscious is showing you what it wants and what it needs. It loves you. And now you're wrapping up your day at work. You're so happy because you've accomplished something. You feel like you've making an impact. So many lives are impacted by you and your work. It's amazing. And you feel so proud. And now, slowly wrapping up work, and you're heading out. Where are you going? Are you meeting people for dinner? Are you driving back home? What would you do in your best life? As you're riding back home, you're looking at the view, and you live in the best city in the world. You've always wanted to live there. City or country or by the beach or on an island, whatever your heart's desire. When you get home, you have your loved ones waiting for you. You hug them and kissing them. There's so much love there. And now you're having dinner with your loved ones or whomever you see in your best life. And you have a feeling of accomplishment. And it feels so good to be you. It feels so good to be able to create this life you have created for yourself. You are amazing. You are loved. You have a mission. And this is what you're meant to do. And now you're slowly wrapping up your day, going back to the bedroom. You've already put yourself in pajamas. You've looked at the house and how amazing this house feels. And you know tomorrow it's going to be another amazing day. You're sitting back in your bed. And now you're laying down. And you feel so grateful. You state your gratitude. You feel so thankful for the thing you were able to accomplish. And you're slowly closing your eyes in your mind's eye. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Another deep breath in. Exhale. You're wiggling your toes. Wiggling your fingers. And only when you're ready, come back to this present moment and open your eyes. I'm gonna give you a couple of seconds and feel free to leave in the comment box how you feel. Is everybody sleepy? I feel like. So this meditation is a really important exercise that I do quite a lot. Refreshed and light. Good, Beverly. And I feel like this is so massively important for everybody who has a business or who want to create a life, because we get so stuck into all our responsibilities that we forget to go back within. Hi, Maria, you said it feels light. This is good. So when you do a meditation like that and you focus on your best life, you get to start to see certain things that you maybe forgot, or you didn't really allow yourself to dream big, but in your mind, you can do whatever you want. What also counts is to put it into work. We don't really worry about the how, but we are interested in knowing, the why and what we see, and then really following our heart and following the bliss. And what we call is answering the call. Like I'm doing, I'm answering the call. I mean, sometimes I wish I could get a corporate job and get my 6 figures and just be good. But instead I decided to do something else that requires a lot more work and discipline, but I just really feel like I'm answering the call. So, and I would love for you to do that too. Okay, so we're gonna finish with, I'm gonna give you some homework, and I think it's very important for you to be doing these homework. So, you can, hi Monica, we're about finished, but it's still good to have you. And so here's the homework. The first thing that I want you to do, it's super, super important, is that if you could do this right after this call, it would be amazing. If you can find some time to really write down what you saw in your meditation. I highly, highly recommend you doing it right now because it's still fresh in your mind, and just write with a piece of pen and paper, and then you can really let go, of the flow and just write it. If by any chance you can do it now, I'm going to leave the meditation. I actually already recorded it, and I'm going to leave it down below. And you can download it and then do this yourself. The next thing I want you to do is, so once you write it, is I want you to read it possibly daily. That would be amazing. If you can read it either in the morning or in the evening or both, to start having your mind acquainted with what you read. Because when you read, we create images in your mind. And I want you to start seeing this. It's like, when you decide to buy a new car and you want to buy a Mini per se, now you start to see Minis everywhere. So it's the same thing. We want to start to train your mind for you to start seeing this, the visualization that you have wrote. And I want you to be as wild as possible, because they say even if you shoot for the moons but fall into the stars, you've accomplished it, right? The next thing you want to do, and that's more of a long-term goal, is that you want to update your vision statement every year. So for example, the guided meditation that I gave you right now is to give you a good foundation on what you want to create for your life. But you can be as detailed as possible, and you should, and you want to be able to kind of cover different areas of your life, your relationships, your business, your finances, your health, your spirituality, and so on. If you can be details and really create something like that, that would be magical. And then every year you want to update it, because your life happens, and then you're going to be able to cross stuff that you've already accomplished. So every year you want to update that. And then the other thing you want to be able to do is, so you want to keep that. And then the last homework, is I highly recommend you read this book called Breaking the Habits of Being Yourself. And that's by Dr. Joe Dispenza. This book was recommended to me by Ro, who's an amazing coach as well. We worked a lot on mindset together, but she recommended this book. I read it. There's a meditation within the book that you can download as well. And it's all about the focus on how the mind can create your environment. And you have the power to do so. So this is my recommendation for you. I really, really hope you have learned something new today. I'm making the commitment to join here every Tuesday at the same time. If the time changed for me, I will let you know. But I will let you know at least 4 weeks in advance, as I'm already launching each week's content. If there's type of topics you want me to cover, feel free to put a message down below and I'll do my best to cover it. Give me a quick yes, you know, how you feel, and then I will be in touch with you. If I don't have your email, please inbox me your email so I can keep in touch with you via email. Other than that, I want to thank you so much for joining today. I hope to see you next week, Tuesday. All right, guys, thank you again so much, and I will see you next week. I hope you really did enjoy this presentation, and if you have any comments, questions, or even a topic idea you want me to cover, please leave it in the comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for videos like this every week. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I have a video like this. And don't go away so fast. I do have a gift for you. I actually have this very own meditation that you can use. Just simply click on the link below and you can download it and you can use this meditation to help you with your visualization. So I hope you enjoyed this and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Hi everybody, my name is Salwa. I am a business coach and a digital marketing, and I am current.